Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? We got John, Trolling for Dollars is here. Don, good morning. Mike, never let the machines win. They're winning right now, man. They're winning. 3 of them are winning. 3 out of the 5. Morning, Clyde. Morning, Rodney. 3 out of the 5 are kicking me in the rear right now. The funny thing is, it's the 2 least likely to kick you in the rear. I mean, that are most likely to kick you in the rear that are not kicking me in the rear. The 2 that are working fine is the ANET A8 and the Trunk CX1. Yeah, they're winning the battle, but I refuse to let them win the war. So I started a print last night on the S4, and I got up this morning and everything looked good until I went to pull it off the build plate, and under extruded, just soft squishy parts. So, yeah. Soft, squishy parts. So the S4 is clogged. You gotta work on that. The Tornado is printing stuff that looks like this. They're awful. They're ugly. Layer shifts and infill poking through the exterior walls, all sorts of great stuff. So the Tornado is winning right now, beating me, and the Ender 2, the board is out. So morning, Mr. Buttram. How you doing this morning, Ryan? The A8, however, printed the body for the Scorpion and printed it very well. So among my under extruded parts is squishy axles, which are not good. They're in the trash. What's funny is, and I guess it's just the way they're designed. Where did I set them? Oh, they're there. I guess it's just the way they're designed and how much plastic is involved in them in the first place. It did manage to successfully print the Gatling guns. They're not squishy. So I guess it's just because of the way they're designed. But the Gatling gun looks good, man. I was thrilled as can be with how that came out. The railgun tip was on there as well, and it was under extruded and squishy. Yeah, the Gatling guns are fun. This one, the bottom layer came off, but otherwise it's still solid. And the bottom layer, no more thickness than it lost there. By the time I glue it into the body that it goes into, it'll be fine. So I'm not going to throw those away. I'm going to keep those. But everything else that was on the print bed, last night's print, it's gone. Threw it all away. Squishy and awful. But even though they were squishy, I was able to kind of test the ball and socket. The ball and socket is not going to work. I've got to go back and redesign that. Roy Holly printed the giant tire in TPU and shared that with me this morning, so that was really cool. Morning, Joe. Afraid to go check on the console. Yeah, well. Hopefully my bad luck isn't contagious. So yeah, right now several machines are kicking my butt, but I refuse to let them win. So they're winning the battle, but they will not win the war. So yeah, I was working on unclogging my nozzle when it was stream time, so that's why I was like, hold on, dealing with some stuff. I shoved a guitar string up in the nozzle and was working it around, and a bunch of gunk was coming out, and I'm able to push filament through a little easier now. But for now, I'm going to switch that off. I'll work on that more after the stream. Oh. Need to get another part sliced and started on the A8. It did a nice job. I'm surprised even. So yeah, the last good part to come off the S4 was the frame. It's solid, it's fine. So the frame and the body are done. The tires are done. The Gatling guns are done. Everything else is everything else either needs to be reprinted because it was under extruded, iterated because the ball joint is not going to work as it stands. So, it is what it is. Joey, do you have to have the curtain open? You're making too much light on the side of my face there. With he's laying on his pillow behind me, and he's got a pillow on the floor next to the window, and he had the curtain pulled back. Yeah, Don, that's to be expected, man. Really. Especially if they sent you something for free and it didn't work out. I can see where they'd say, we'll send it back and we'll send you the other one. Oh, all right. Well, so I guess let's jump into iterating the ball joint. Screen share, there we go. Which I changed up the colors that I'm looking at in here to reflect the colors that I have available right now to print this in. So this is kind of how it's going to look for me, because I don't have very many color options right now. Not that are the least bit military related anyway. So I've got this khaki brown that I'm printing on the A8. So make it solid and cut. Snap together around the ball. I'm not sure I understand. This would look cool all black with red wheels and a red canopy. Then it would look like it belonged to Cobra. Oh, that was the other thing that, well, they were a little bit squishy, so I'll probably just reprint them. I printed the axle pins back here for that, and they're just a tiny bit squishy. But I think I'll just go ahead and reprint them anyway. All right. For starters, it had too much clearance. So I'm going to knock the clearance down on it. Oh, okay. So you're saying to only make half, which is another thing I want to change on this. Whoops. To cut it in half and then glue it together over the ball. And then I could extend the fingers out farther. Another thing I was thinking was I wanted to have more side-to-side movement than it currently has. So I think I need to make the top part here and the bottom part wider and remove the side ones. And then that should allow it to swivel all the way left and right, and then just a little ways up and down. So I might need to start from scratch on it. Anyway. Let's just hide this for now and we'll start a new part off of the ball. Let's hide the rear fender and the rear tire and the rear wheel, rear axle, and hide that. The rail gun out of the way. Right, yeah, no, I wasn't going to get rid of the side ones. They were just going to be shorter to allow more travel in that direction. But I need to make It's too wide. The top and bottom one's wider. Maybe something along those lines. Okay. Though maybe it's going a little too far on the ball there. There we go. So, before I go farther, let's turn on, let's turn on screen cap keys. Text view, run script, back to 3D view, and screencast keys. There we go. Alright, now you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry, I remembered. Okay, so Shift D to duplicate, then hit P to separate the selection. Then we're going to cut it in half. Delete those faces. And then I think another thing was the fingers coming off of the socket were too thin. So I think even if they hadn't under extruded, they would have snapped off. So this time when I add the solidify modifier, we want a positive offset because we want it to go outward, not inward. Zero 0.8. No, let's try 0.1. 0.15. I think that looks maybe a little more solid. Being thicker should grip onto the ball a little tighter. Maybe even too tight. Alright, so we are going to, let's go ahead and apply that solidify modifier. And then we're going to duplicate it in place. We're going to go to the front view, rotate it 180 degrees. so we can look. Yeah, I think that'll work better. Alright, so I'm going to delete that one just because I was testing. Right now we're going to add the mirror modifier. All right. Copy the circle there. Leave it in place. Separate as a selection. Now let's scale it in a little bit. So that you can snap it into the spot. Let's make it a different color so that we can see it more easily. Get out of edit mode first. Excuse me. G on the X. Extrude it out. Scale it in just a hair. All right. We're going to inset the face on it. Scale that down. Extrude it out. Scale it down. Extrude it out. Hey Hawk, how you doing today, Ben? Everything is excellent, my friend. Hey Scalda, it's going okay. It's going. It's not going good, but it's going. My printers are kicking my butt right now. Yeah, well, I refuse to allow the negativity to creep in that it's going bad. That's too much negativity because I refuse to let it beat me. Um, Not too bad. Since I didn't end up going to Micro Center this week, I didn't end up getting any more filament. I need to order some more because I'm pretty much almost out of everything except for I have lots of yellow. I have lots of yellow, purple, and turquoise, and khaki brown. The only one that's useful in printing these vehicles is the khaki brown. I'm almost out of black. I'm almost out of silver. I'm almost out of gray. All the useful colors for this stuff. I'm almost out of everything. So yeah, I thought I was going to go to Micro Center this week, so I didn't order any. So now let's go back here. Let's delete the mirror modifier. I got khaki. I got khaki. I don't need more khaki. Not yet. Check my Twitter. Okay, I will do that. Aha. There you are, my friend. So, let's see here. I think this will be sturdier than the one I had before. I need to save. This is what I need to do. Uh-oh. No, not minus. Control plus. There we go. Apply the modifier. Get rid of that one. All right. Now we have a solid piece. Join those together. And now, what you just see me do there with the control plus for the Boolean operator, that is something that is part of HardOps, which is that add-on that I paid for. So it's not functionality built into Blender, but it is not a overly expensive. Add-on. It was like $30 or 30. I think it was $37 for bundled together HardOps and Box Cutter. Everyone is quiet this morning, Robbie. You're right. Everyone's just watching. I guess I've either put them to sleep or dazzled them with my BS. Isn't that the saying? If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, dazzle them with BS. Whoops. Here we go. Which those are going to cause some potential issues. We will see. Hold on, let's... Oh yeah, we get some non-manifold edges. What do we got? Oh, I see what happened. Let's go back. Let's go back to before I did the Boolean operator, because what happened was this one did not have a face on it. That's why the Boolean operator was messed up. Rabbit of Seville soundtrack. I don't know what that is. Morning, Bob. Alright. So now save again. Let's select that one and that one. And Control plus. Apply. Delete that one. Now, did that make that cleaner? That did. Okay, that's much better. So now when I ring cut that, I can take this face here. Oh wait, let's check. We don't have non-manifold edges anymore. Extrude that. Scale it down just a hair. Registration key doesn't need to be that big. I'm gonna make it smaller. Oh, cool. Let me go over here. Here it is. Joey, you're being silly. All right. Sorry, I'm thinking about socket and ball joints. Yes. And rotate 180 degrees. Wait, why is that not lining up? Okay, I'm going to do this a different way. Let's delete that part. We are going to oh, hey Brian. Sorry. I was lost in why this isn't working right. that didn't even sound right, Ben. All right, so let's move the origin to the 3D cursor, and let's really, Brian, really. My dog is being silly. Let's see if I get this on camera. He's curled up on his pillow. See his nose sticking out from under the curtain. I fixed that curtain like 3 times, and he keeps like, it's like it's a sleeping mask for him. Silly puppy. He's being silly. All right. Well, but those of us with dirty minds always take it out of context. So actually, let's move this out for a second. And then let's move its origin to 3D cursor. Then we will add the modifier. We will mirror it along the Y, not the X. We'll go ahead and apply the modifier. Then we will tab back in here. And make that selection its own object. Here we go. So now, when I move this back in, and then we can edit this one. We'll take and select those, delete them, and then repair that face, extrude it in. G along the Y. Select those, we'll go back to the top view. And we will scale that out just a hair so that the registration keys should be able to more easily be locked in together. Which, now that I'm thinking of it, I need to beef this up even more, I think. Of course, I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's where I saved the start G code for the tornado that before I modified it with Chris Riley's suggestions that didn't fix anything. I have messed with that machine. I spent hours on it yesterday after or before, I guess right before my wife got home. Yeah, G code. I wonder if I took I'm going to try something and it's probably not going to work. So that stuff happens sometimes. All right, so let's take no, I don't want all the vertices. I want just the exterior vertices. I need to hide the body. Not that kind of hide the body. God, before someone gets that started. Let's see. Try something. This is probably stupid. This is probably not going to line up. So. So there's a good chance I just end up undoing all this stuff I'm doing right now. No. Delete vertices. Delete that vertice. And I should have clicked save before I did this. Like I said, this probably isn't going to work. Nope. That's what I thought. And what I was afraid of. All right. Just delete that whole part. For some reason. Save before we do this one. So I'm just trying to reinforce that somehow. And I'm trying stuff. JT, what's going on, my friend? So I'm creating a lot of inner problems that I'm going to have to take care of, but at the same time, I also think if this works out the way I want it to, it's going to make for a stronger socket. And anybody that is here that is not already subscribed to the JT and the other guy streaming channel, do so. Every Monday morning they stream. And the other guy is Ivan Miranda. I mean, you have two of the best dudes in this community. They share in their time with us once a week, and it's an awesome stream. It's very entertaining, and they only have like 76 subs, and that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they only have that many, because they're awesome. I mean, you get to go and pick the brain of the brilliant Ivan Miranda, for crying out loud. And then JT is there to kind of keep Ivan focused. Absolutely, man. I didn't catch your streams towards the beginning because I didn't know they existed. But once I found out they existed, I'm like, dude, this is so much fun, and it's very entertaining, and it deserves to have lots and lots of eyeballs on it, because you guys are awesome. Oh, that's interesting. Right, yeah, exactly. JT's there to keep a leash on Ivan so that he doesn't just spin out of control. But the spinning out of control is part of the reason we love Ivan. Yes. Go subscribe to... thank you, Brian, for putting the link in there. Go in and find that. Yeah, go subscribe, because they do a weekly stream. It's awesome. And they do a lot of good call to action kind of things too. They want the community to share things with them on their streams. Like next week's stream, next Monday, there's a challenge that's been put forth. Now, I'm not going to take part in the challenge because, well, it just what printers are working or have other things that they got to print. But it's to print the narrowest 100 millimeter tall cylinder that you can print. That's correct, JT, right? That is the challenge that Ivan put forth. And so print the narrowest cylinder you can, and post it on Twitter with hashtag JTOG15. What in the world is going on there? Yes, any support material touching the cylinder counts as part of the so it will be measured at its widest point. So if you put a brim on it or support material around it, you have to measure at that point. Cause me some problems at some point, but Robot did one in resin. That's not even fair. Tell Wellbot that's cheating. But I guess you didn't put the specifications in for that, huh? Yeah, I don't know how that got so far out of whack. This is all sorts of wrong. Don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing. Do as I say, not as I do. Because this is going to probably be all sorts of non-manifold. Yep. Oh yeah, that's all kinds of jacked up. What the? Alright, what happens if I delete all that? Yeah. Like I said, this is just all sorts of the wrong way to do this. We have fewer non-manifold edges now. Tools. Okay. Means we got some interfaces, don't we? There we go. Delete that face. Oh, let's undo that. Delete that face. So delete that one too. Get rid of the registration key. We'll put it back in a minute. I'll check all. There we go. All right. That looks like a much sturdier socket than what we had before. Right? Brian. No, Brian. No. Bad Brian. You go sit in the corner and think about what you just did. Brian says the face palm was worth it. Let's bring the body back now. All right. So we have a new socket to try. But I need to, I'm safe. I need to cut some registrations into it. And I need to copy it again. So let's move the whole thing over. Let's put the origin to the 3D cursor. Oh. Control-Alt-Shift-C. Origin to 3D cursor. Add modifier. Let's mirror it along the y-axis, not the x. Let's apply the modifier, then we tab in. We select all of this side of it. We hit the P by selection. So now we have two halves. Y. And we grab this one. Y. together. Ben is back. So then we're going to add a registration key another way. I'm going to create a cube, scale the cube down, keep scaling the cube down. I'm going to scale it along the X. Slide that up here. Scale along the X. Ring cut it. Oh, tab ring cut it right in the middle. Scale that along the Z just a little. And we're going to make a copy of it right there. This is actually socket right. And we're going to name this one socket left, and we're going to hide this. Do that and apply it. Left. And then we need to go in here. Delete that vertice. Delete that vertice. Sorts of weird stuff going on there. Huh. think it's because I did not set my creases on this first. Modeling doesn't always work out the way we want it to, folks. Sometimes things just don't cooperate, and it's probably something I did wrong, and I know that. Morning, Mike Whaley. In D. Let's delete that one. Save that. Control plus. There we go. Now I didn't mess it up. Uh-oh. Hitting wrong keys. That's a place I didn't set the edges on. What I'm doing now is making sure creases are set in places that I want to stay sharp, because I applied a smoothing procedure that will smooth out some stuff, and I noticed that it was smoothing out some things I didn't want smooth. Yeah, that's the biggest part of it. There's just no point. But it also takes the point away from the evil of the world that seek to harm you with the dislikes. And there's a group that doesn't like me. And I'm fine with them not liking me. Really don't care. Alright, so let me copy this one. Shift D. No, wait. I don't need to copy that one. I need to copy the other one. There we go. So now we have a registration key cut for that. But to make it a little easier on ourselves, we will add some clearance. Do that. Scale it up just a hair. Slide it back. Cool. Alright, so now, as Roy suggested, the socket is two pieces with a registration key to lock them together. So you can put them around the ball. It should be a very, very tight fit. Maybe too tight, but we'll find out. So you clamp them around together over the ball, glue them together, and then that should give. So I'll print this today if I get the clog out of the CR10. Later, Brian. The tornado name. The name that's sticking is not the tornado. It's the scorpion, which you dubbed this. I refuse to let the tornado stay in that state. I will get it. All right. so now we have the ball in the socket, and it should be a heavier duty socket than what I had, and hopefully hold better, stronger. And then sorry, I can't stop yawning. Hey Ben, how was your birthday yesterday, man? For those who did not know, yesterday was Ben's birthday. So if you didn't wish him one yesterday, wish him a happy belated birthday today. I've been reading some stuff on that that new CR10S Pro that Creality's got out. Man, it looks pretty sweet. They've got they switched up the extruder. Now is a Bondtech style extruder, so it's got the dual hob gears, and both of them are driven. And it looks like the spacing they put between where the filament comes from the outside of the extruder and then goes through the extruder, the gap is super tiny. It's a really cool looking design. So it should handle flexibles. All right. I need to slice this rear fender and get it going on the A8. I need to poke around on the clog some more and get that squared away on the CR10S4. And then try printing the ball and socket and test it. Yeah. Yep. You start getting older from the moment you live. You can see the like control panel thing I made for this. Joystick on this side and like those T handle like thrust looking things on this side. It's just really simple. I didn't go into extreme detail because as small as it is, an FDM machine's not going to do much with the detail anyway. But the figure's hand should rest on that okay. Seat, the Gatling gun, which the Gatling gun came out nice. So I still got to print the back half of the Gatling gun, the part that the gun plugs into, and then the rail gun. Yes, it's got a rail gun. I tried printing it. I'm going to change the orientation in which I printed it last time anyway. Because removing supports, while I was removing the supports and just taking a look at it, even though it was under extruded and squishy. axle, rear tire, rear wheel, canopy back. Yeah, it's coming along, you know, it's getting there. And I printed the tires for it. For those who didn't get to see it yesterday, there's the rear tire. So the rear tire is huge. Because there's the front tires. There's the rear tire. It's coming along, man, you know. And then Mr. Buttram named it the Scorpion. When he called it that, the name just stuck, because after he called it that, I was like, you know what? It does kind of have a very Scorpion-like feel to it. I like it. So, like, that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be the Scorpion. Only its stingers are railgun. And its claws are Gatling guns. Which, the reason you're not seeing those, the ones on the other side, is I removed everything that was mirrored up there while I was exporting the STLs. Because I didn't want the mirror modifier to carry over into the exported STL. But, put the mirror modifiers back on stuff so you can see what it'll... Why is that on the Z? Oh well. There we go. Oh, man, that one needs to be mirrored as well. Mirror. Okay. So yeah, that's the colors I want to print everything in too, because, you know, I think I still have enough black left, as long as I get this extrusion problem figured out, to print the ball and socket, canopy, and the rail gun front piece. Oh crap, and I gotta print the seat and the dash too. I hope I have enough filament left to do that. And then I know I have enough of the khaki. So it's a good sized vehicle. It's not as small as it looks on screen. It's because here it is next to the Jeep. If I can get it on screen here. There we go. And I've already got plans to, I'm going to replace the, I'm going to make an Arctic version. I'm going to replace the rear wheel with a big spiky rear wheel and put some big skis up in front in place of the front wheels and make an Arctic version, because I think that'll look cool too. You did make it funny. I like that. But that fit up nicely. And the tabs for it to rest on, which also give it a nice gluing point, are lined up nice. So, which even without glue, the frame is holding together nicely. I haven't even glued any of this yet, and it's still sitting where it's supposed to, doing what it's supposed to once you press it together. But glue will make that a little nicer up front there. Stay more solid. And then you can see the spot for the ball and socket joint to be glued in. So it's got kind of a registration on the body to make sure you get it lined up good. And then these are registrations for the Gatling gun bodies. The Gatling gun bodies will press over there, and you glue on top of that, and you glue the Gatling part onto the body of the. So yeah, it's a good sized Gatling gun. It's fun. Now I need to take and modify the shoulder armor stuff I designed and make a version that holds, maybe slightly smaller, holds 2 of these Gatling guns. That'd be cool. But that'll be quick and easy, because the hard part, excuse me, was modeling them the first time. Well, I think I'm going to cut this a little bit short today so I can go ahead and get on trying to clear my clogged nozzle so that I can get some prints started today, since I work tonight, and if I don't get them started soon, I won't have time for them to be done or nearly done before I leave. Well underway where I can trust them to walk away from them. So, right, rush hour traffic, because with the ball and socket joint on the rear tire, that rear tire is going to be able to articulate side to side and rotate round. So I think it'll make for some really cool vehicle stuff. You know, some neat little tricks and stuff that it would be capable of. But no, it's the Tornado's nowhere near ready. It's still printing really bad. I worked on it for a couple hours yesterday, and still it's printing awful. But yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Remember, if you want early access to any of my files, all Patreon supporters get beta access to my stuff, as well as once it's completed, early access before it goes public. The patrons already have access to the Scorpion files, even though now I need to upload new files for the ball and socket. But they have the same files that I've been working on and printing with, and that's how Roy Holly was able to print the tire in TPU, which it looks just exactly like this. It's just his is squishy and mine is not. But yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. I'm so thrilled that there are so many people out there that are supporting what I'm doing, and you know, I have 6 patrons now, and that's really cool to me. And appreciate you guys, and we will see you next Tuesday when by the time I see you on Tuesday, I hope to have the Scorpion completely done, and 4 out of my 5 printers printing by then. Let's hope. And I think the Ender 2 is a little farther out because the board is shot and I need to order a new board. But and I'm still not sure if I'm gonna, should I put the stock board back in it or should I have some fun and try something different. So I haven't made that final decision yet. But 4 out of the 5 printers I hope to have doing their thing by next Tuesday, and the Scorpion completed, and we'll get back on some of the things like the tactical trailer that I need to finish, and the truck that needs finishing, and maybe start a new vehicle next week. But yeah, it's coming along, and appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time. Go hang out with Mike Whaley Friday morning and Don on Saturday. And then, of course, see you guys next time. You guys are awesome. Later.